So this will be part one of review of theory. Right now I'm going to go over again just how we can make up a major scale, what the notes are on the staff, and how to understand the difference between Arabic numbers, Roman numerals, and seventh chords, which are chords that are built in thirds. So the world as we know it in Western music is made up of a major scale. All music that we listen to, Western music, is built off of this very foundation scale. And again, you know what it sounds like. That's the major scale. It's made up of a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Every single major scale is built off of that pattern. Now, it's also important to know where these notes are represented on the staff. Again, this is a musical staff, sometimes also referred to as a stave. Right now I'm looking at 1, 2, 3 staves. This is a treble clef. There are multiple clefs in music. Treble clef, bass clef. There's also tenor clef, alto clef. But for us, most of you are going to be reading in treble clef. The spaces are F, A, C, E, F, A, C, E. So if you were to notate this F right here, everyone would play, this F. This would be the F that would sound. There are multiple Fs on the piano. You will notice on the piano there's a pattern as well. 2 black keys, 3 black keys, 2 black keys, 3 black keys. To the left of every 2 black keys is the note C. That's a C. That's a C. This is middle C. So again, if someone's to notate this C right here, which you'll notice is below the staff, that's a ledger line, it would sound as that. So we went over the staff. The lines are E, G, B, D, F. E, G, B, D, F. E, G, B, D, F. Okay? So E, G, B, D, F. Now, we also have to understand accidentals, a flat sign and a sharp sign. Now, all that means is if it's a flat sign, that you would put it down a half step. So if I was playing the note D and I wanted to put it down a half step, I would use a flat sign and people would play the note D flat. This is the note D flat. Now let's say I'm on the note C and I want to put it up a half step. You would use a sharp sign. So this note could also be notated as a C sharp. We call that enharmonic spelling, E-N-H-A-R-M-O-N-I-C. It means that a note can sometimes be notated 2 different ways. So this note could be notated with a flat sign in front of it as D flat, but it also could be notated with a sharp sign in front of it, C sharp. Now it's important to understand accidentals because, as I mentioned, every single major scale is comprised of the same pattern. But if we apply the whole half step to a different note, you will notice that we will have to play a black key at some point. So let's look at that for a moment. If I start on the note, as I did down here, the note B flat. So the note B flat is right here. This is a B, so B flat. So if I go a whole step, that's C. If I go another whole step, it's D. If I go a half step, I have to use a black key. So I'm going to call this E flat. I'm not going to call it D sharp because in every major scale, we have to use every single note in the musical alphabet, right? So from B to B in the musical alphabet would be B, some type of C, some type of D, some type of E, some type of F, some type of G, some type of A, back to that some type of B. So if we're starting on B flat, I took care of that some type of B. Whole step C, took care of that some type of C. D, taken care of. But a half step is E flat because the next note in the musical alphabet is F, which is a whole step. So I wouldn't call this D sharp because I already called the 3rd scale degree a D. So the 4th scale degree is E flat, whole step F, whole step G, whole step A, half step B flat. That is what I notated down here. B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A. You will notice down here I put numbers. These are what we call Arabic numbers. Okay? And Arabic numbers just refer to one note. So if I ask you what's the third scale degree in the key of B flat, you would say D, and that's this note. Okay? Next is we have to understand diatonic harmony. So all the harmony that we listen to in songs is built off of chords that are built in thirds, and they are the foundation for most of the music that we listen to on the radio. So again, we went over this. You've all heard of that chord progression. That's 1, right? 6, 5. Or you've heard 1, 5, 6, 4. Okay? Those chords are all built off of this powerhouse major scale down here. Okay? So let's decide how we figure out what those chords are. So what we do is we just start with that bottom note and we build the note in thirds. So if I started on B flat down here, I'm going to draw this middle C ledger line. I'm going to skip a note to D. Then I'm going to skip a note and go to F. And then I'm going to skip a note and go to A. So I'm kind of just stacking notes in thirds. Okay, so remember though, in the key of B flat, we have two accidentals, a B flat and an E flat. So whenever we stack a note, and if it's a B or an E, we have to put a flat sign in front of it. So this first chord is B flat, D, F, A. So notice if you're doing it on the piano, you're just skipping every other note. So B flat, skip a note, D, skip a note, F, skip a note, A. That is a B flat major 7 chord. 1, 3, 5, 7. That's the 1 chord. It's always major. The 2 chord would start on the note C. So C, skip a note on the staff, E flat, because remember E flat's in the key. Skip a note G, skip a note B flat. So we have C, skip a note, have to use E flat because E flat's in the scale, skip the F, G, skip a note, B flat. That is a C minor 7 chord. It's the 2 chord, and the 2 chord is always minor in diatonic harmony. Okay? Guess what? The 3 chord starts on D. So if I skipped a note, I would put an F right here. Then I would put an A and a C. So that would be D, F, A, C. Those are the notes in the 3 chord, and that's always minor. Now I want you to notice that for Roman numerals, that's referring to chords. If I'm playing chords, more than 3 notes at a time. You'll also notice that there are uppercase Roman numerals and lowercase Roman numerals. The lowercase Roman numerals mean that they're minor sounding. The uppercase Roman numerals mean that they're major sounding. Again, major sounding chords. Major, so I'm in B flat, so let me play a B flat major sounding chord. That's a B flat major, but minor sounding chords. That's minor sounding. Okay, major sounding. Okay, so the 4 chords major, the 5 chords major, the 6 chords minor, and the 7 chord is minor. I'll just spell the rest of these chords for you. So D, F, A, C is the 3 chord. The 4 chord would be E flat, skip a note G, skip a note B flat, skip a note D. So I'm just skipping every other note in the scale. So if I start on E flat, the next note in a B flat major scale is F, but I'm just going to skip that and go to G. Then I'm going to skip the A and go to B flat, and then I'm going to skip a note and go to D. Again, these chords are built in thirds, also known as tertiary harmony. Thirds, intervals, 1, 2, 3. That's a major third, okay? 1, 2, 3. That's a minor third. 1, 2, 3, major third. So they're built in combinations of major and minor thirds. So major chord is actually built off of a major interval, minor interval, major interval. minor chord is built off of a minor interval, major interval, minor interval. Those are the type of thirds. The 5 chord would be F, A, C, E. The 6th chord would be G, B flat, have to put a B flat, D, F, and the 7th chord is a half diminished chord. It would be A, C, E flat, G. Now this is the one chord that's built all in minor third. This is a sound of a minor third, minor third, minor third. This is a minor 7 flat 5, so we don't have the, and then here we have from E flat to G, the major third. If it was full diminished, it would be another minor third. So that's diatonic harmony. That's the notes on the scale. And in the next screen movie, I'll review this for a second and go over chord symbols and secondary dominants.